This morning, I want to talk to you about the desire to be better people. This desire is part of being human in the world. All of us have at one time or another, in one way or another, sought to change for the better, whether through inner work, tending to our relationships, or helping others. Here in this season of Lent, the traditions support us in this. The practice of giving up something and taking on a new practice are often done in the hope that we will connect more deeply with what matters in our lives and thereby become better people. Often the thing we decide to give up is something that stands in the way of this change. One indicator of this common desire to be better people is Google search results. Type in "be a better person" and hit search, and you get over 6 trillion results. Most of these are lists, including things like let go of anger, support others, leverage your strengths, take care of yourself, let go of anger, practice forgiveness, be honest and direct, be helpful, listen to others, be yourself, be open to change, educate yourself, let go of anger. Did you notice that anger keeps coming up? Every list I read urged us to let go of anger. As Kate Hanley says to us in her book, How to Be a Better Person, look under the rock of your anger. What you find there is crucial to making that change in your life. An article in Forbes magazine says, for our purposes, we'll say that better is becoming more aware of our motives, being less judgmental where we could stand to be empathetic, and becoming more concerned with the well-being of others than our own self-interested pursuits. To be better is to care for others as we would want to be cared for, to sow only that which we would want to reap. For me, being a better person entails some combination of the lists I found among the trillions of results. Being the most kind, compassionate, generous, healthy, and grounded person I can be, and loving and supporting others to grow toward the best possible version of themselves. Being a better person is not a goal to achieve, because that would be an unreachable goal. Rather, it's a lifelong process. We're never done. We can never stop our efforts. We always have opportunities to grow ourselves and our relationships. Today, and in the coming days, we have such an opportunity. This week, being a better person means not hoarding all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer for ourselves, and instead attending to our collective well-being, especially to the well-being of those who are most vulnerable. There's nothing good about COVID-19, except that it is forcing us to connect in creative ways and to recognize our interdependence. In times of emergency or disaster, people tend to have two polar opposite reactions. Either we withdraw, which is entirely necessary in this situation in the sense that we must stay away from each other in order to prevent the spread of the virus. Many are calling this an act of social solidarity. Either we withdraw or we reach out to each other with more urgency than ever before. Think about how you see people react after severe storms or during a blackout. We go outside, we connect with our neighbors, we help strangers. Goodwill is high. With COVID-19, however, there is a level of fear and suspicion of others that is unique. So our challenge is to balance our fear and anxiety with goodwill for our friends and neighbors. The challenge is to hold and value our own well-being and the well-being of others. Unitarian Universalist minister and poet Lynn Unger wrote a piece this week called Pandemic that has, as we say, gone viral online. I want to share it with you. It goes like this. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. I love Unger's words, and I hope that they bring you comfort as they do for me. We are created to care for each other and to grow our love for this world in new and yet to be imagined ways. How do I know this? Because, as Malvina Reynolds' miracle reminds us, we as human beings are marvelously wrought and we are common clay. We are marvelously wrought and we are common clay. What a very Lenten message. We are made of star stuff. We are made of dust. And we have evolved into incredible, beautiful, complex beings who are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. We are inherently good, and we have the capacity to do great good and great evil. We are common clay, pliable, able to be shaped and reshaped. Ancient mythology and numerous religious traditions tell stories of people being formed from clay. Greek, Egyptian, Chinese, and Hindu mythology do. Yoruba, Maori, and indigenous American cultures do. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, even Wonder Woman was sculpted from clay. Today, in American culture, this image is tied most frequently to the verses in the biblical story of the prophet Jeremiah. We are the clay, and God is the divine potter. When the potter sees a blemish in the clay, they shape the pot again. The message is God forms and reforms your life. The poem I read earlier by Mary Lou Narducci takes this a step further. She says, as clay creations, we've been given the freedom to become what we want to be, and we become the potters ourselves. I am here to continue the process I became, says the poet. As someone who believes that God is relational, that the divine exists in the connections between us and among all life, the power of this divinity to shape and reshape us makes a lot of sense to me. The ways we are relating to each other in this time, without as much touch or physical presence, are shaping and reshaping who and how we are. The shaping of clay, or the quest to be a better person, is not about becoming someone you're not, but rather continuously striving to be the best version of yourself. Just like shaping a pot, it can be messy, but as long as we keep working and watering the clay, change is possible. Many of you may have heard of the spiritual practice of the examen. I believe that this is a very valuable practice in this time, and for those of us who are striving to change and better ourselves, because it points toward the ways in which we need to reshape our lives. The examen comes from the Ignatian spiritual tradition. Saint Ignatius of Loyola was a Spanish priest and theologian in the 16th century who founded the Jesuit order. The examen is a mindful review of your day, in which you reflect on your awareness of the sacred in everyday moments. Imagine what learning and growth would come from pausing at the end of each day, looking back on the past 24 hours and reflecting on your experiences. You can do this alone or with others, such as family members. And ask questions like, when did you feel most fully alive? When did you give and receive love? When did you feel the greatest sense of belonging to yourself, others, the divine, and the universe? Then reflect on the times in your day when you felt most drained or disconnected or felt the absence of love. The practice concludes with a prayer of thanks for the insights revealed through this time of reflection and a setting of intentions for what you hope to do differently the next day. The things that make you feel alive, the times when you are most loving, the experiences in which you feel most connected, these are what make you a better person when you focus on, repeat, and amplify them. The experiences of feeling drained and disconnected point toward things you can change. So I invite you to try this practice sometime in the next week. I know some of you already practice the examen, if not every day, at least periodically. I invite you to go deeper into the practice and reflect on how it can help you shape and reshape your life for the better. Let your reflections guide you and help you discern a commitment that you need to make. It could be to engage in serving others, to give more attention to your spouse, or be more patient with your kids, or to take better care of yourself. It can be something quite simple. Sometimes, though, the changes that we want and need to make in our lives are quite a bit more challenging. We may want to overcome addiction, or become more confident in our career, or engage in meaningful justice work, or develop and sustain a spiritual discipline. All of these are processes of growth, not high ideals to achieve. This is what gives me hope that they are possible. The other source of my hope for change is the knowledge that we do not shape ourselves alone. We are shaped by forces outside of ourselves, by the potter God, by the interdependent web of relationships of which we are a part, including close relationships and those in community we barely know. We are shaped by the empowering example we set for each other. Our lives are shaped and our growth is nurtured by others in our lives, including those that you connect with through church. Whatever you are seeking to change in your life, however you wish to live better, to be better, to do better, you have companions for the journey. Let us be these companions for each other. The world is calling us to do this now, for ourselves and for all of us, to transform common clay into something marvelous. We can do it together. Amen.